Phyrekeeper principles.
To introduce the principles of the Phyrekeeper, every life-supporting skill should have a myth or a legend. The Fire Dojos is the Greek story of the Titan Prometheus. The myth, retold here, comes from multiple sources and may not be wholly accurate. Long before the Olympian gods and humans, there were the immortal giants, the Titans. Prometheus, whose name means forethought, was the son of Titans Iapetus and Gaia. One of his many siblings was Epimetheus, whose name means afterthought. Prometheus was considered a wise craftsman of the highest order of his kind. Zeus, who was one of the sons of the leader Titan Kronos, or Saturn, challenged Kronos for leadership in a power struggle. Prometheus's mother, Gaia, told him a prophecy that Zeus and the gods would win the Titanomachy, or War of the Titans. Prometheus also saw that it would be guile and intelligence that would win the war. He tried to warn others, but they would not heed. They decided to try to win by power, strength, and violence. Prometheus and Gaia decided to go with the side they already knew would win, the gods. And Prometheus helped Zeus win the Titanomachy. Zeus imprisons all but a few Titans to Tartarus. Prometheus is one of the spared. At one point, Prometheus held Zeus's painful and aching head so Hephaestus, or Vulcan, could open his head and let out Athena, the goddess. Thankful for his help, Athena taught Prometheus all of the arts and sciences, including the uses and creation of fire, such as agriculture, architecture, astronomy, mathematics, medicine, metalworking, navigation, writing, and others. Prometheus was given the task to create the mortal race, or humans, in the image of the gods, and did so out of clay. Athena liked them too, and breathed life into them. Zeus disliked them and wanted to be rid of them. Zeus decides to exterminate the mortal race and replace them. Prometheus advocates on the mortals' behalf, and humanity was spared. Zeus confines the mortals to earth only and takes away immortality from them. In order to help them, Prometheus taught the mortals all the skills, arts, and sciences of civilization he knew and learned from Athena. Prometheus is chosen as mediator for the mortals. At the settling of accounts at Mekon between gods and mortals, concerning what mortals shall keep and what to sacrifice to the gods, Prometheus knows that most mortals are too poor to sacrifice the best parts of animals. Prometheus kills a bull and divides it into two piles, one with all the best parts in meat, covered under by the skin and the stomach, or the worst looking part, and the other with the bones, covered under some shiny fat, which is the best looking part. Zeus says to Prometheus that he has divided unequally. Prometheus told Zeus to choose between the piles, would from that point on become how the sacrifices were divided. Zeus chooses the pile of the shiny fat with the bones underneath. Zeus decides to punish the mortals by taking fire away, or the means of life. That way, they themselves cannot eat the uncooked meat that they have won and stay in the cold dark. Prometheus then returns fire back to the mortals by going to Olympus and hiding it inside a large hollow fennel plant stalk. Zeus became furious and decides to punish both mortals and Prometheus. Zeus has a woman created named Pandora, who would bring evils upon the mortal race and keep good spirits away, Prometheus warns his brother, Epimetheus, not to accept any gifts from Zeus. Epimetheus does not heed the advice and accepts Pandora. Pandora opens her box of gifts, and all manner of suffering and evils, like ignorance, poverty, war, and disease, is brought upon the human race. Prometheus was captured and chained to a pillar stake, where an eagle, or vulture-like bird, would every day, all day, eat out his liver. Prometheus, being immortal, his liver would grow back every night and repeat the cycle over again daily for thousands of years. There are obvious reasons why this myth is key. There are many mots within it to guide us. The first mot is in the name, forethought. Care must be given with all aspects of supporting life, especially when others' lives are at stake. The second mot warns us to pay attention to the winds of change. When others are under your care, as parent or guardian or any service or calling, one must know oneself as to what is best for all concerned, to think critically, accept responsibility for their decisions, and act ethically. The third is to learn the life-supporting arts and sciences and skills of civilization in order to better humanity with them, not just be part of it. Fourth is the importance of the role of parenthood and being a great advocate or provider for children and future generations. Fifth, if you're going to act on the side of supporting, promoting, and balancing life, not to be abusive nor negligent. Sixth, be wary of the evils of and within humanity, and not to confuse one's being or behaviors with the value of life. Seventh, trying to lead a good and safe life isn't necessarily a guarantee of one. Of course, in today's day and age, we'll probably never be in a situation where one will need to acquire fire by these means and methods, but the skills cannot be allowed to be lost. The Phryction Phyre Dojo is a metaphor for learning any life-supporting and promoting skills, for understanding, training, and balancing life-supporting problem-solving. One learns to develop a relationship and work toward mastery of the skills one chooses to acquire to better self and humanity. The Phryction Phyre methods, techniques, and skills are never for sale. They are the property of humanity. However, a Phyrekeeper should be compensated for time and energy used for transmission of said methods, techniques, and skills, because that is life-supporting. From there, you make and accept responsibility for your own actions.